This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, okay, we'll start from here.
And sort of like while sending that recording, no, name it as like session one, class one, like that.
हाँ, we will do it. मैं तो इसको सोच रहा था कि इसको YouTube पे ही अपलोड कर दूं, सबको ईजी
हाँ.
पड़ जाएगा। तो
Hmm.
वो मैं कर लूंगा, एक बार YouTube पे इसको अपलोड कर दूंगा, आपको लिंक दे दूँ, या
Oh.
जैसे अगर आपको दे दूंगा, आप अपलोड कर देना, एनीथिंग विल वर्क फॉर
Okay.
मी।
Okay.
ये विल स्टार्ट विद द स्पार्क, ठीक है।
Hmm.
ऑन द स्पार्क साइड, लाइक है ना, if you aware of the Spark, like what is the main feature of the Spark, and uh, you aware of HDFS, like you know the
Mm-hmm.
basic of HDFS.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, then I'll give you little bit background on that area because that will be the first step.
PySpark and Databricks, actually, I don't have any idea.
Okay, okay. Uh, just for understanding perspective है, मतलब कोई इंटरव्यू में अगर बाय चांस पूछ ले तो otherwise not a major concern, ठीक है।
Hmm.
Like I'll cover the topic what is HDFS. Basically, before the thing was like give you the background. Like everything was in a if you go into the layman term, like HDFS is a kind of a storage. Like if you know about AWS, we have storage of S3. S3 is you can consider your S3 as storage. Then the second storage system, like if you consider Azure, there is a blob storage. Similarly, for Hadoop ecosystem, the storage was HDFS. So, in every environment, like if you were working with like if you take care of example of particularly Hadoop, the for the Hadoop, the storage is Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so this was the first, like when we are working with Hadoop, all the things were there. Basically, what was that? Earlier, it was built by Google, and and the Google name was Google File System. Like if you will see here that they mentioned Google File System. Then later on, they build up some amendments on that, and then you use it. For at a high level, you need to understand like you can consider HDFS is a US storage for you, like at a high level. And
Okay.
what the feature it will provide you, it will you provide a high performance, fault tolerance, master worker architecture, two-factor authentication, and the scalability. Like these are the like fault tolerance means like if anything gets fail, like there is a fault tolerance, like there is a backend things are available to you that if any one node get failed, it's there is a in backend some another node will get up to you. So this is the thing for you. At a
Okay.
high level, you can understand like is a HDFS thing is, and more in term of like if I'll go into that, the another one is map reduce, because these things are just for understanding perspective. Right now, nobody is using. Everybody is using PySpark only. Uh,
Okay.
just for an understanding perspective, I want to cover you like this. Like here you see na, like this is a main you can say architecture of the HDFS. Basically what in HDFS what we do, like there is a HDFS client, okay, and there is a distributed consider this consider this these are the different data nodes, okay, and there is a name node. In whatever all the metadata should be present in name node only. like all the processing should be done in data node. Okay, so for your understanding perspective, like HDFS is a storage system, and on the basis of that, there is a JVM, like Java Virtual Machine is written on that. So all the things is going into that way. So the first step is that as you send an application HDFS client, it will send a create command. Then it will go for your distributed file system. Okay, then it will go for the second step. It will go create. Create it will go to your name node. Okay, then in the third step is write. It will write into your output stream. Okay, then whatever the output stream, it will go into a write packet. Then it will go to whatever the things is going into the acknowledge packet. And the same way these your data nodes are communicating with each other. So at a high level, like this is the flow you can consider it for like for HDFS. And then I want to highlight what is main component is map reduce. I'm not going into detail of that much, but you should know the basics because these are something related to that. That's why I'm covering on that area.
Okay.
Okay. In map reduce, like map reduce is considered of like where there are two nodes, there are two phases. First is map phase, another is reduce phase. Okay, what it's do, like map reduce is basically for your processing, like if you take the example of PySpark also do your processing only. The same way the functionality of my map reduce do your processing. So what it do, there are three components of map reduce. The first is mapper, the second is shuffle and sort, third one is reducer. So what mapper do? Mapper basically you can consider like in a just take an example. I'll give you the background on that area. In Hadoop ecosystem, like I'm covering very fast, like that's why you might get confused. Like consists two things. First one is your storage. Okay, here the thing is come to you HDFS. HDFS is your Hadoop distributed file system. The another one is for your processing.
Hmm.
The which is processing is used for map reduce. Okay, so like if you take the example of AWS, like if you take the example of AWS, we have S3 as a storage. If you take the example of Azure, we have Blob as storage. Okay, and if you take the example of uh, uh, Databricks, there is a, you can say there is a uh, the term name is I'll give you the background on that area, like what is the exact name on that, like we'll go through and then we deep dive on that area. uh, Map reduces more for your processing. Like in map reduce, these are the main component. The first is mapper, the another is your shuffle and sort, and then reduce. Just this is for just for understanding perspective, Chitna, like more into like more the everything is now everybody is asking Spark only, but you should know the basic, like what is the basic right now on that area.
Hmm.
Like each map task typically operates on a HDFS block. I give you the background on HDFS. In HDFS, like suppose if you have a 1 GB of file. Okay, and if you consider there's a block of 128 MB. So if you consider like 1 GB, so there are 8 blocks. Consider these are 8 blocks for 1 GB. Like like consider like in HDFS data is divided in the basis of block. Okay, so each map task typically operate on a single HDFS block. Map tasks usually run on the node where the block are stored. Okay, so shuffle and sort and consolidate the intermediate data into mapper, and map task complete before the reduce task. Operate the shuffle and sort mechanism into the mapper output and produce. What is that in term of layman term you can consider like in mapper के अंदर basically HDFS का जो भी डेटा है सपोज मेरे पास एक फाइल आई जो कि 2 GB की है तो मेरे पास कितने ब्लॉक्स बन गए 1 GB में मेरे पास 8 ब्लॉक्स बनते हैं 128 MB की तो अब हमारे मेरे पास कितने बन गए 16 ब्लॉक्स बन गए टिल दैट पॉइंट इट इज क्लियर लाइक हमारे पास 16 ब्लॉक्स बन गए ठीक है देन व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप अब क्या होगा इन द बैकग्राउंड मैप टास्क यूजुअली रन ऑन द नोड वेयर द ब्लॉक इज स्टोर्ड बेसिकली in each block mapper task will run okay then what is the next step is shuffle and sort means like uh, basically whatever the you can consider like there is a one there is a one and there is a one so first of all the one should be come into in a single place and then there is another two all the two will be come into in a single place consider your key value pairs like if you understand like there is a key value pair so all the keys will be like all one keys or one two keys will be shuffle and sort like all the one should be come into first all the two will be come to that in that way it is done sort the intermediate happens after map task is complete and then जब आपका this operation will done then आपका reduce task होगा and operate on a shuffle and sorted data and intermediate the mapper and produce the file basically क्या होगा in this step like whatever the processing will be done in this step like आपका key value pair बनने के बाद उसका exact processing होगा इसमें कोई doubt है ठीक है at a high level term like if you what suppose there is a file come to you it will split into different then reader then mapper partitioner then shuffle and sort then reducer and then output this is the simple flow
Actually,
like
the splitting we call as mapper, no?
yes splitting we can come as a mapper like basically HDFS में जो data होता है ना like as the data come to you it will distribute like the first like it will distribute in different blocks and these different blocks will go into different nodes because there is a detail level architecture I don't want to go into that deep dive because it in that case it will be completely on Hadoop side because nobody is right now using Hadoop system like the thing you should know the basics on that area that's why I want to cover at that point
Okay.
okay so this is the like if you like map we will have a HDFS block from the HDFS block split derive the number of section of the number of mapper जितने number of inputs split होंगे number of mappers बनेंगे ठीक है each input slit will record reader Hadoop will provide input format mapper take each input mapper read the record as a key value pair just जो मैं आपको बता रहा था the key value pair mapper will be used to extract data in the filter extracted where the partitioner of the class will determine the reducer key to go to intermediate record intermediate data is sorted grouped and merged and then value into key passed to the reducer and this like that take the example like I was mentioning you like uh, basically this is if you go into the flow like the first one like in the mapper whatever the things go into the blocks then it will go into your input split then mapper में each records का inputs बना then we have key values pair then we have extract then partitioner class will determine the which reducer key it will go intermediate result हुआ group हुआ merge हुआ and then it will pass to reducer so like if you take the example is like here like take the example the cat consider of this all the things. So all the there's a one mapper of this, there is another mapper of this. Okay. So now here what we do, like first 111, this will be there. Then there is a on that basis, it is divided on the basis of that shuffle and sort, and then it will be reducing. Then it will go into processing. Don't confuse on that part, but just at a high level, like what it do. Like you need to just understand that the how the things is going on for a normal understanding perspective. Okay. Now I'll go to the Spark, which is the main component of ours. Okay. Any question on that area? We can discuss if you want, like at a high level, if you want to understand.
Like actually, like, I was not able to like grasp like what is that and all.
Okay. Okay. I'll cover in very much detail in Spark, and then I'll relate you in term of Hadoop. That's why
Okay.
then in that you will be able to more relate on that area. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Then if you consider why why Spark is more popular, like why the Spark is get more popularity, like in Hadoop, like the mapper and reduce, all the data is saved in the disk. But in case of Spark, every data is saved in your RAM. So Spark is a RAM intensive.
Okay.
Okay. So everything you want to that's why if you see that Spark is get much popularity right nowadays. Like even like the even sometime interviewer will ask you why are you choosing Hadoop over Spark? The what is the reason on that? Then there is a simple answer for that. Like the in Hadoop, all the data is saved into the disk, but in Spark, all the interpreted data is saved in RAM. Rather than so, the processing will be fast. And the second thing you can use for your repeating algorithm or repeating mechanism that will be covered in there. But like at a high level, like this is the major difference. Like this is the most common question we'll ask, that why we are using on that area. Okay.
Oh. So the
So
main is because the Hadoop we will be using in disk, but Spark we are using in the RAM. Because of that, the processing will be faster.
yes,
Okay.
like if you go in the major difference is that only and even like that if you go read about what Spark do, what it will provide you distributed memory abstraction. Same like Hadoop also provide you distributed memory abstraction for cluster. And support AppWork is said to retain the property of map reduce. Whatever the property of map reduce is there, the also here, like you have fault tolerance is there, you have a data locality is there, scalability is there. All the things is available to you.
Okay.
Okay, like that's why I want to cover the map reduce, because I just want to give you the background on that. Like uh, why the big data is come to you. Big data come in the market because of parallel processing. Like if you know, like parallel processing means like you can assign multiple nodes. Like suppose uh, I can work on node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4,
Which is in Hadoop.
in everything, even in Spark also.
Spark. Okay.
That like whatever the data, like because we are working on is, I'll give you the detail level architecture. In that you will be able to more relate. Okay, so but right now you can understand like why the Hadoop or the Spark thing is come to the picture is because of a parallel processing or distributed parallel processing. Because uh, take the example of your pandas. Like if the file of more than 2 GB, if you want to process in Panda, it will not be able to process. That's why the Spark things is come to you. Like some people are still doing everything in Pandas, and but if you go into the Spark, will be more performance tune on that area. Okay, and this is the one of the major difference. Like fault tolerance means if anything crash, you have a backup of that, because consider if node 1 crashed, you have the data in node 2, because you are creating backup replica in node 2 also. Take the example on that area. Okay, data locality means you can assign your data in a particularly location, like your data is in node 2. Then scalability, like as you want to increase number of nodes, you can increase whatever the number of nodes, and you can increase your scalability. Like as your load is increased, you can increase your scalability.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's why these things is very important too. And the Apache Spark is the fast and the most general purpose engine for large scale processing data framework. Okay,
And
so
actually, in PySpark only Apache Spark will comes, no?
the thing is, in Spark you can return any language. You can return your Python, you can return your Scala, you can return your R. But like I am giving you the Apache Spark, and then the things of PySpark will come to you. This is
Okay.
the right now we are covering Spark. Like most of the interview questions or most of the designing question or lots of question will be asked from your Spark architecture point of view. That's why you should be very well aware of that.
Hmm. Like actually, what is up? Like Apache Spark is comes in Spark PySpark only, no?
The
The
thing is,
PySpark we are calling as Apache Spark.
no. Like uh, you can consider Apache Spark is your parent,
Okay. Hmm.
and then later on Apache Spark you can write different languages. When
Hmm.
you are writing particularly a Python, then it's become PySpark.
Okay.
That is the you can say basically Python. Basically, you can say Python is a wrapper on the that, that is the wrapper of the programming language of Apache Spark. That is the you can in technical terms.
Hmm.
Okay. So Spark जो है it's backend in written in Scala जो कि Java based है.
Hmm.
Like all these things is in the backend Spark is written in Java, Scala, and the backend in JVM is written, and Spark run on Hadoop, Apache Mesos, Kubernetes, standalone or in cloud. Basically, they are telling how can you run on Spark. Most commonly in present environment, Apache is right now either running on standalone or in cloud. These, but you can in past they are run on Hadoop, Apache Mesos, Kubernetes also. You aware of Kubernetes thing? You know about Kubernetes?
Hmm.
Okay, like there is a containerized approach or Docker approach. Like you are aware of, like just take an example of a high level. Kubernetes is just a containerization approach at a high.
Oh. Hmm.
Standalone is like I will cover the standalone architecture, or in the cloud. Cloud is the most common way. Like you can run Spark on AWS, you can run Spark on Azure, you can run Spark on Databricks. So you are running on in that basis. Okay,
Hmm.
and then expressive computing not limited to map reduce model. Basically, Spark is not limited to a map reduce model. Okay. Uh, uh, like if you what was the I was covering the very first point, like avoids like all the intermediate data will be not saved in disk in Spark, and all the cache data will be used for repeating query for your machine learning. That's why we are choosing Spark over Hadoop. That is the major difference of that area. Okay. Till this portion is clear, we'll go to the deep dive of your architecture. In
Hmm.
that, you will be able to relate lot of things. Like
Okay.
even every interview will ask you about Spark architecture in the interview. Lots of question will come from that point of area. Like I will cover on that perspective. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Then we'll move into the next slide. Like what is Spark in memory? computing. Basically, Spark को we are saying in memory computing because all the data will be saved in your RAM rather than in disk and processed in parallel. The data will be partitioned and processed across different server of cluster. What it does mean, like suppose consider of a file, like consider एक file ले लो जो कि 1 GB की है, okay? Consider this file. So data will be partitioned in different. You can consider a block of 128 MB. So data will be distributed in parallel nodes. Okay. So in that way, the data gets partitioned and it gets processed. Okay. The latent speed of the Spark got derived because of Spark takes in memory of processing. Basically, Spark का processing in memory of processing की वजह से ही fast हुआ है. Okay. अब आता है स्पार्क को लेजी वैल्यूएशन क्यों कहते हैं. Basically, why is called Spark is it's a very important question. Like if you go into for your interview perspective, okay. What is Spark? Like lazy valuation means like this is the definition of lazy valuation. Spark doesn't execute until the action gets triggered. What do you mean by action? Like I'll give you the example of like take this is a normal example. Suppose consider a table A. Okay. Then consider a table B. Okay. In table A, you apply some filter logic that my ID is equal to 10 data will be passed only. Okay. In table B, I am applying that salary greater than 30,000 records only passed. Okay. Now you are performing join on these two tables. Okay. Now you can consider this is a table A. You can consider this as a one data frame, or you can consider this also a one data frame. And then you are performing join on these two operations. And after the join, you will go to show. Show means just you want to show the result or display the result. Okay. So what does it mean? Like till this processing, like your action is what? Your show command or display command. Till this portion, everything the data will be saved in RAM. So Spark lazy valuation means till you trigger the action, all the things will be stay in your lazy valuation. This is the meaning of that.
Okay.
So actions are nothing but the final result. Consider you have the data from he have taken the example. The same way, basically, whatever these are all transformations. These are all transformations. Until you tell the action, the Spark will be in lazy valuation.
Okay.
Till this point is clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now I'll go into this portion. Like this is directed DAG. Like if you heard the term DAG, it's a very common term. Like if you heard about airflow, like airflow or any scheduler, like this will come as a direct link acyclic graph. Basically, what I am telling now, like you consider this is a one stage. Okay, this is one stage. Now this consider as a one stage, stage 2. Okay, now this is also one stage, stage 3, and then this is the final stage, stage 4. Okay, so like in the background, the data is going in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. Okay, directly acyclic graph means you have a finite graphs with no directed cycles. Means take the example of like your graphs will go into that fashion, like from one stage 1 to you are moving into second stage, from second stage you are moving into third stage, and from third stage you are moving into fourth stage, but you are not rounding back again to stage 1. So your states will be go with a direct graph with no directed cycles. इसमें कोई if you have any doubt let me know, मतलब you are able to understand.
हाँ,
Basically Each edge, each nodes or vertex are connected to each other, but these are not cyclic. That's why its mean is acyclic.
Direct acyclic. Okay.
Okay, that's why its name is directed. Like the nodes, I am taking the example, real time example, how the tag work in backend. This is the way it will process. Okay.
Oh.
Now, then the major thing is come to you. In Spark, you need to understand there two. One is RDD, another one is data frame, and another thing is your streaming. These three are common, but most commonly we are using data frame only in real time, and this one streaming.
Okay.
RDD is outdated now. Nobody is using right now. Okay.
These are components, no?
These are components like RDD is resilient distribution dataset. Then we have data frame. Then we have dataset. Datasets is nobody is using. Okay. MLlib is particularly for machine learning. Spark streaming is for your streaming application. But in real time, everybody is using this only. All the projects is on that area right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is RDD? Resilient distribution data sets. What do you mean by understand resilient? Like, if anything gets failed, we have backup is there. That's why it's resilient. Distributed data set, partition, collection of records, spread read only, immutable. Okay. Now, if you take the example of data frame you consider you can consider as a tabular format. Like you have data in form of tabular format consists of raw Excel. Like you consider columns, or you are considered as a RDBMS, just a normal way. Okay. Data sets is nobody using practically, but that's why I'm not covering. Okay. Now, this is the main component that I want to cover. Then this will cover you lots of things will be covered in that area. Okay. So the first of all, like this is the architecture of Spark. Okay. Like it's a very much important for your understanding perspective, or you need to understand like how the things is working on Spark. That you should relate in that up. Okay. I will first cover this thing. Like okay. There is a Spark driver. There is a Spark context. Okay. And Spark session. Okay. In this things is there. Okay. Like as you submit your code, okay, the first one it will go to your driver. This is the first.
Okay.
Okay.
This is architecture you are telling, no?
Yes. As you submit any job, like because if somebody asks about what is the background of Spark, if I execute a job, how the processing is going in backend. Okay. So like as you submit your job, like this first is going to your driver. Okay. Then in the Spark driver, like what is the difference between driver and the session is that like if you are working on a multiple environment, like if a developer is there, B developer is there, C developer is there. Okay. There are multiple developers are there. So we can create a multiple Spark session. Okay. So that's why we can create this way. That's why this Spark session is come to your picture in that. Then what the next step is Spark context. Basically, uh, I'll give you the little bit of background on the Spark context. Like whenever you initiate your Spark,
So once you submit the job, no, like the code, so the Spark driver will come into picture. In Spark driver only, like we are having a multiple developer, right?
no, This is different thing. Spark session is different thing. As you submit your jobs, the first thing is Spark driver.
Okay.
In
Uh-huh.
Spark driver, I have given you in practical term, like if the multiple developer come to you, that the Spark session things come into the picture.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you initiate your Spark, then you need to go for a Spark context. Okay.
Okay.
I'll I will cover the things a very detailed level from the intro slides point of view for your understanding on that area. Okay.
Hmm.
Then what is the next step? Like you have done this thing. Okay. Now these are the steps written for that. As you submit the Spark job to the Spark driver initiate the Spark context object to submitted job.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
बेसिकली जो अभी मैंने बोला कि फर्स्ट स्टेप इज आपको जैसे ही आपने जॉब सबमिट करी आपकी कहां पर गई ड्राइवर के पास फिर
Hmm.
ड्राइवर ने क्या किया स्पार्क कंटेक्स्ट रेस कर दिया
Okay. Hmm.
बट स्पार्क सेशन मैंने इसलिए बताया क्योंकि इंटरव्यू का क्वेश्चन आ जाता है पैरेलली कि स्पार्क ड्राइवर स्पार्क कंटेक्स्ट और स्पार्क सेशन में डिफरेंस क्या है स्पार्क सेशन इसलिए बनाते हैं वी बिकॉज वी मल्टीपल डेवलपर बनते हैं यूज कर रहे होते हैं तो वी कैन यूज इट इन दैट वे
Okay.
ओके
Hmm.
देन देन द नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज उसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या है स्पार्क कंटेक्स्ट विल क्रिएट स्पार्क फ्रेम टास्क बेस्ड ऑन द डैग शेड्यूलर बेसिकली जैसे जैसे आपने ये स्पार्क जैसे जैसे आपके आप एक जैसे मैं अभी आपको समझा रहा था कि जैसे एक जॉब आई ठीक है स्पार्क टेस्ट के बेसिस पे इसके बेसिस पे एक डैग शेड्यूलर बन जाता है
Hmm.
बेसिकली डैग शेड्यूलर जो अभी मैंने आपको एक एग्जांपल दिया था दिस इज बिकम योर वन स्टेज वन this is
Okay.
your stage 2 this is your become stage 3 then this is your stage 4 okay so basically ये वही उसको एक represent कर रहा है as a DAG okay and all this will be divided into different tasks
Okay.
basically these all things will be distributed in different tasks
Hmm.
okay then what is the next step spark driver request the cluster manager basically this is the step like यहाँ पर जो ये स्पार्क जो ड्राइवर है वो क्लस्टर मैनेजर को वो क्या करता है एक रिक्वेस्ट भेजता है कि मेरे को एग्जीक्यूटर चाहिए होंगे जॉब एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए ओके यहाँ पर कोई डाउट आए तो मेरे को पूछना ठीक है
Hmm. Hmm.
एंड इसके बाद क्या है एक जार फाइल चाहिए होती है बैकएंड में दैट इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर आर्किटेक्चर साइड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ठीक है बेसिकली एक जार की फाइल भी चाहिए होती है जो कि इसको ड्राइवर को चाहिए होती है ओके
Hmm.
then what is the next step task will be launched on executor provided by cluster manager basically cluster manager पे एक एक टास्क एग्जीक्यूट होती है
Hmm.
इस एग्जीक्यूटर पे ठीक है then the result set from each executor is sent to driver इसका जो रिजल्ट सेट है वो कहा जाता है वापसी जाता है ड्राइवर के पास
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
ठीक है then what is the next step once the job is done cluster manager will kill the executor basically जब ये जॉब डन हो जाएगी तो क्लस्टर मैनेजर इस एग्जीक्यूटर को किल कर देगा देन स्पार्क एग्जीक्यूटर नॉट किल अंटिल द लाइफ ऑफ द एग्जीक्यूशन जब फाइनली ड्राइवर सेंड रिजल्ट हो जाएगा देन स्पार्क एग्जीक्यूटर भी किल हो जाएगी मैं आपको दोबारा रिपीट करता प्रोसेस को
Hmm.
आई रिपीट द प्रोसेस उसके बाद मेरे को बताना एनी इफ यू मतलब अंडरस्टैंडिंग में कोई भी गैप हो रहा हो मतलब दिस इज मेजर टॉपिक
Okay.
okay
Hmm.
because like if you able to understand you will be able to understand how you will do the performance tuning in real time when the
Okay.
jobs gets problem as if you are able to understand but like somebody I see like the multiple folks will grab just इसका वो उसको रट लेते हैं मैं उस वे में नहीं बता रहा हूँ डू इन सच ए वे यू विल एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट वेरी थॉरली
Okay.
देन बेसिकली फर्स्ट स्टेप इज लाइक आप टेल योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग फर्स्ट देन आई रिपीट अगेन first what you are able to relate from this
First, like once we submit the request, right? So it will go to the Spark Diver.
Yes.
So after that, it will be going to the DAX scheduler where the task is being distributed.
Okay.
From this, the cluster manager will create the work node to assign the task.
Hmm.
Once the task is been completed, cluster manager will kill the task.
Hmm.
Correct, na?
Okay. Okay. Till you are covering.
And in between, like some in
Yes.
cluster manager, the jar file will come.
Yes. Yes. I'll cover like you cover 30-40%. I repeat okay. Like the first one is like whenever you submit any job, the first thing is come to you driver.
Hmm.
Okay. The things first might come to your driver. In driver, you have multiple Spark session also. What you have multiple Spark session? Multiple Spark session is because of because we are in real time environment, we have multiple developers is there.
Okay.
First point is clear.
Hmm.
Then second point, as you submit the job to the driver will initiate a Spark context. Okay. Then in the Spark context, they what will we do? The Spark context in the Spark context, in the backend there will be a DAG is created. In the DAG, what we do like all the job is divided into different stages or different tasks. Okay, so so uh, this is the third step. Then the fourth step is that driver uh, driver will request the worker node or executor in the cluster. Basically, driver tell about the cluster manager को that you whatever the जो भी आपको टास्क के अकॉर्डिंग जो भी आपको एग्जीक्यूटर चाहिए उसके लिए आप वो बना लो मतलब स्पेस बना लो रिसोर्सेज बना लो in layman
So
term.
driver will tell to cluster manager, right?
Driver will tell to cluster manager and the
Oh,
cluster manager वो क्या करेगा uh, वो allocate करेगा resource.
okay.
ठीक है और then what will be the next step is अब क्या होगा कि इन बैकएंड हमें एक जार फाइल भी चाहिए होगी ड्राइवर को जो कि एग्जीक्यूटर को डिपेंडेंसी के लिए चाहिए होगी ठीक है अब क्या होगा हर टास्क जो होगी वो एग्जीक्यूटर में एग्जीक्यूट होगी ठीक है और जब हर टास्क एग्जीक्यूटर में एग्जीक्यूट होगी तो अब जैसे एक टास्क कंप्लीट हो गई तो वो उसको किल करेगा मतलब व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप once the job is done cluster manager will kill the executor मतलब जैसे एक जॉब हो गई तो वो क्लस्टर मैनेजर उसको किल करेगा ठीक है और
एक्चुअली वो जॉब रन होता है ना वो पैरेलली नहीं रन होता है now like for one particular the task three cluster is been created the three cluster will run parallelly or how
पैरेलली
parallelly it can run no okay
अब बेसिकली एग्जीक्यूटर पे बेसिकली आप ऐसे समझो कि इस एग्जीक्यूटर पे ये वाली टास्क हो गई कंप्लीट अब जो इसका रिजल्ट सेट है ना वो वापसी जाता है कहाँ जाता है वापसी देखो रिजल्ट सेट ऑफ एक्सएमएल सेट टू बैक टू स्पार्क ड्राइवर बेसिकली जो भी हम ये करते हैं ना तो यहाँ पर ट्रैक सबमिटेड जॉब्स एंड रिपोर्ट बैक टू द स्टेटस ऑफ जॉब बेसिकली क्लस्टर मैनेजर में हमारे पास यहाँ पर स्टेटस ऑफ जॉब भी जाता है और फिर क्लस्टर मैनेजर से हम यहाँ वापसी ड्राइवर पे भेजते हैं ठीक है अब टिल दिस पॉइंट इज क्लियर देन व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप अब क्या है सिंस स्पार्क एग्जीक्यूटर विल नॉट किल स्पार्क के एग्जीक्यूटर विल नॉट किल जब तक ड्राइवर विल सेट द फाइनल रिजल्ट जब तक फाइनल रिजल्ट मतलब हर जॉब का टास्क का कंप्लीट होके जब तक फाइनल रिजल्ट नहीं जाएगा ड्राइवर पे तब तक स्पार्क का एग्जीक्यूटर नहीं किल होगा
okay
ओके अब एक बार you repeat it basically this is one of the important topic that's why I want to cover you in detail
here like one question I am having so in work node, the first executor is there. No, that is been completed. As soon as it completed, it will won't kill, right? The second workload also complete, third workload also complete. If everything is been completed, then it will kill, and results should pass to driver program, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So now, like, I'll explain.
Hmm.
So when you submitted the first code, at that time the Spark driver it will execute actually. So after that, the driver will have like send the content to the Spark content table. There will be having a DAG scheduler. In
Hmm.
what it will do in DAG scheduler, it will create a stage and the task distribution, and the task will be assigned. It will tell the cluster manager the task is ready, like you can create the worker node for the execution. So the worker node execute each task. Once the task is been completed, and it will send the uh, report to cluster manager. The cluster manager will send to the driver program. Simultaneously, all the worker node completed only, then the cluster manager will kill the uh, work like executor.
Yes. Okay. मतलब 80 to 70-80% आ गया. Just revise these 10 points. It will clear you. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Uh, okay.
And Saurabh, like when I was like checking the earlier, no, something the master slave and all there. It is
Yes,
not.
yes. I was covering that point to now. That's
Oh,
big. Like uh, the as like this is a client. Okay. This is your driver. Okay.
hmm.
Whatever the architecture I have showed you, na, it is a standalone cluster.
What is standalone cluster mean? Like when they ask the architecture, like we have to ask whether we have to explain standalone cluster or what actually.
Basically, if they are asked, you can cover the standalone only. Like I will because everybody is here only because standalone means you are working with cloud environment.
Okay.
You are working with Databricks. This is yours. In practically, we are using that only. So you need to cover your standalone only.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, because like if you consider like as client submit a job, this is your driver.
Hmm.
Okay. In cluster manager, you have a master, and these are executor is your slave.
Okay.
So this cluster manager is your master. This is your slave.
Hmm.
Now you are able to relate. That's why
Hmm.
I didn't cover this point. If you are able to relate this, then you will be able to relate this point.
Hmm.
Because here the cluster manager, this is your master, and all the executor will be your worker. These are the slaves.
Okay.
Now it's clear.
Hmm.
And this is yarn base. I didn't want to go into your yarn base because it will be confusing for you. I
Hmm.
did not want to go because in when earlier the Hadoop architecture was there, na, everybody was using yarn, but now nobody is using.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Now just go into your Databricks. Okay. Like why we are choosing Databricks? The because the Databricks like the first the thing is come into your I was covered you in the previous class like why the Databricks come into the popularity is because of their Delta Lake functionality. Like I was telling you, the lake house architecture
Hmm.
they've covered. Like the how this is become popularity in that way because who has built the Spark? The same person has built the Databricks also.
Okay.
That's why the he cover all the functionality, like whatever the things, like you can build the cluster on Databricks, you can write the ETL jobs, you can connect your Mongo, you can connect your HDFS, you can connect with R language, you can connect with You can do your Redshift things. So everything will be able to do. So that's why it's a getting more and more popular. That's why it's a, you can say, it will apply your diverse ETL source character, notebook, build-in library, job scheduler, data warehousing, and data will provide end-to-end solution for data engineer and data scientists to run batch ETL pipeline, real-time connector for easy integration, job scheduling capability, auto scaling, integrating data visualization, integrated real-time query, built-in query. So all the things is available to us.
Hmm.
Okay. And in Databricks, whatever the thing is, you can run on any cloud. You can run on AWS, you can run on Azure, you can run on GCP. Okay. Cheta, your Databricks Community Edition is working. Can you open
It
that?
is working, huh?
Can you open that?
Oh,
I'll walk through it, like how the things in real time. Okay.
okay. You want me to share my screen?
Yes. Just share your screen. Because if I'll cover lots of theory now, it will be much be boring for everyone.
Huh. I'll share my screen.
Till 32 slides we are done. Okay, till 32.
Oh,
Okay, then we cover from 34th, 30, 33rd. Okay, I'll give you the walkthrough of what is Databricks. Then you can. I'll stop the sharing. You can do. Okay. Chitra, still you are there? Hello.
hello.
Are you still there?
Yeah, actually, I was started sharing my screen. It like kicked off.
Okay. No problem. Just share your. I'll give you the walkthrough of that area.
Okay, I'm sharing full entire screen. Let me know once you're able to see.
Mhm. I think you have the this PPT. I think I have shared with you now. This PPT you have now already. Till 32 slides we are done. Okay.
32. Like you shared me this PPT or
This PPT only. This PPT I have shared.
okay, okay.
From the Databricks, apart from there are multiple PPTs for Databricks. I will share it you on the basis of
Okay, okay. 30, 32 we finished, no?
32 is finished. Okay. Just a walkthrough is there. The more thing, the more you need to go through the Spark architecture. What is the Spark?
Hmm.
Uh, just I'll give you, there is a link of Data Savvy. And
Hmm.
in Data Savvy, just go through these questions. Like what is HDFS? What is your MapReduce? Why Hadoop is using over Spark? All these questions are available at there. You will
Okay,
see. Like there is a link of Data Savvy, like and Spark architecture. So like I think I've covered 7, 8 questions at there. So you
oh,
will see like these are questions for that area.
okay.
Parallelly,
Where
you
I
walk
can
through
check?
Data Savvy link also. I'll share the link also. Okay.
Okay,
Just go to that. Like here is the workspace. Like this is the workspace.
Hmm.
In that you will create new notebook. You can create any new notebook at here. Okay.
Okay,
Like suppose if you want to work with Python, you will create this. A notebook will come to you. Okay. And then there is, apart from that, there is a new. Then we go to search for new.
okay,
You can create any table, you can create any cluster. I'll walk through everything, but like just I want to walk through like these are the things that are available. Like if
hmm.
you go into cluster, just go through cluster.
Okay,
Here you need to create a cluster with any name. Just you create like Chetra or Chetra Shati cluster. You will create this 16.2. By default, you will create a cluster of 15.5 GB. Like you can do everything, and the packet is AWS. Everything is written in. You will go and thing is available to you, and you can create your cluster.
But why I'm not getting create compute
You
option?
need to create a cluster with another name, new name.
Okay. Okay. Now also it is not coming.
It's showing again old Chetna or Shetty cluster, your name.
I'm not able to type. Okay, here I have to change the name.
You need to clear cluster, you need to understand new cluster name. Na?
Okay, okay. Hmm?
Still you are not able to do.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wait, I'm doing it properly,
Create
no?
compute. Here click on create compute. Just go to the back. Just go to back. Just go back. Create compute.
Compute, okay.
Okay. Uh, select go to that Databricks runtime version.
Okay.
Just go to the top. Click top one, 16.2. Sparks. Create compute.
Hmm?
It is coming disabled for you. I think what is the problem with it?
Disable from edition. You have reached the maximum number of active cluster. Please terminate the existing cluster or upgrade to a.
आपका जो क्लस्टर है उसको जाओ उसको टर्मिनेट कर दो जो एक क्लस्टर बना हुआ है आपका ऑलरेडी
Okay, okay. Mm, actually, like where I can see all the cluster in catalog.
जस्ट गो इनटू क्लस्टर go into cluster
Okay.
go into UI here my cluster okay
Delete.
just delete create cluster
Okay. Create cluster.
now you are able to find out create compute basically it will run in some time okay it
Hmm.
will up for 2 hours if you are using after it will terminate it's for just for practice purpose only
Okay. Hmm.
okay you can
But
write any
actually, in real time, how it will be? Like in real time, also we will be having a cluster, right?
in real time also there is a cluster but
Oh,
it will remain up it will not terminate until
after
we
2 hours.
terminate
Okay.
in real time what we have three different environment dev qa and prod just we the same and what we do we will connect with git at air and we will use all the things at air
Okay.
okay and go to your workspace go to your workspace you can create any notebook you can create any folder you can add any user like in shared you can share to multiple users like very common example like if somebody leave the organization put all the things in shared
Okay.
and so he can access okay you can add multiple users at here then go into catalog just as a walkthrough will cover everything like
Hmm.
there's a database is there table is there you can create any tables in workflow go to workflow is disabled at here like workflow means like I'll give you idea on that particularly area. Workflow is just consider your normal workflows in Informatica
Hmm.
or an any environment. The same is workflow is created at here also the same way.
Okay, but like here, like whatever the notebook we created, that too is
Yes,
workflow.
yes.
Okay.
Basically, consider like suppose a event is come to us, we create this job. Suppose a file come to us, event watcher, file watcher for your concept for Informatica. Like all these things come to you. And right now, everybody is using Airflow instead of using these workflows. They are using Airflows because they on that way they will can use it. In that you will go in a pictorial way, like we do in Informatica, graphically way. That is thing is
Okay. Hmm.
okay. That is more easier one because in Airflow you need to write Python, but here it is pictorial. You just a drag and drop functionality.
Oh, in this workflow.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. I'll walk through. There is a one video is available to us, so you can go through that area.
okay. Hmm.
Okay, so this is the at a high level walkthrough on that. Like on next day, na, we'll give you more into the term of like how will work this with the practical environment, how the things is going on. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
now you are able to understand what is real time in Spark. Just open your. I'll stop my recording now. Just 1 minute.
Hmm.